Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to show you how I built this sign for my stepson. I'm going to cut it out with the new CNC machine that I built. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have not already, please like the channel and subscribe. And let's get started. My stepson is currently in college. He is living his best life. At that college, he has his own radio show, Outstanding Originals. So if you saw my last video, I made myself a CNC machine. So I designed in Inkscape a sign based on his radio station. I was able to put it into Fusion 360 and create a cut file. Here I'm running the simulator, making sure that everything is cut out and I didn't miss any parts that I want cut out. Once you're happy with the cut file, you can post-process to create your G-code. The plasma cutter I'm using today is my YesWelder FIRSTESS CT2050. And I'm hooking it up to the CNC machine I built. If you have not seen that video, I can leave a link to that video. The way I designed this sign, I am going to add sides to the sign to hold LED lighting. So I designed a cut file to do sides. One of them will have a holder so I can mount it on a wall. And that's the first thing I'm going to cut out, as you see here. With the sides cut out, the next thing for me to do is to cut the main piece. The software that I use for the homemade CNC machine is OpenBuilds. It's nice, it's easy to use, and you can actually follow along on the software as you're cut. As always, if you have a question about today's project, or about any tool used today, or any suggestions on future projects, please let me know in the comments below. With this design, there was a lot to cut out, so it took quite a bit to actually cut everything out. Once it did finish cutting it out, I did remove it and I cleaned up the piece. Next thing to do is to weld on the sides. The side with the mount is what I started with. I lined it up with the center. I pre-bent it slightly to make it easier for me to tack around. I lined up the center, tacked it in place, and worked my way in both directions until it was fully tacked in place. Once the first one was welded in, I grabbed the second one and started welding it as well. The only thing I did was on the bottom center, I left a gap, and this is for the power cord for the lights. The welder I'm using today is my YesWelder MP200. With everything tacked in, I flipped it over. I welded up all sides where the sides met the top. The goal here is, once fully welded, I'm going to grind it smooth it out to make it look one piece. I did take my time with this. My goal was not to burn through the metal since it is a pretty thin gauge. After everything was welded up, next thing to do is get my grinder and clean up all the edges. Once I was happy with how everything turned out, I got acetone, I cleaned the metal, then I applied Rust-Oleum paint. I did several coats of this glossy black. With the paint dry, it was now time to install the lights. The LED strip lights I purchased has self-adhesive tape on the back side. So I'm going to line it up. The power adapter has a place to mount. I'm also going to make sure that the power cord goes out through the center. So I'm going to line it all up. And once I'm happy on how everything lines up, then I'll start sticking it to the sides of the sign. Before I mounted the power adapter, I just want to make sure everything worked. So I plugged it in and turned it on. With everything working in order, I'm now able to flip it back over. The power adapter does have self-adhesive tape as well, so I will mount it to the back side. So there you have it. The sign is complete. The only thing left to do right now is to mount on the wall. This was a fun project. With the homemade CNC machine, it made quick work of it and it turned out awesome. My stepson loved it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have not already, please like the channel and subscribe. I'll see you on the next video.